So, welcome everybody to a new episode. It's been such a long time we have been away, and I'll just take a moment actually to explain why that is. It takes, it's extremely difficult for ex Muslim Somalis to come out publicly, and so a lot of people are actually in the closet. One of the people that I've been supporting in the closet today is with me, and this is basically a coming out video. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Halima, for having me. And I am Sahara, but I can go with Sarah. It's fine. That's what my short name I go with. And I am glad to be on your channel today. And thank you for having me. And I have been in the closet for a while, but it's time for me to come out and speak out and be part of the movement, basic human rights. So we have to speak out. So that's why I am here to share my voice and to share my story. So thank you for
So,
having me.
yeah, just off the bat, maybe if you can briefly tell us, like, you mentioned that you were in the closet for a while. Is it possible to say like how long and what possibly also made you leave Islam?
I would say 2019, I finally announced myself. Just, I could not believe Islam. I have been studying Islam about 2 years before I left. And there were, when I read the Quran or especially the Hadith, just made me really live Islam. The Hadith is so cruel, in my opinion, and it's just like the things that I found out, about how is ridiculous or the even the concept of hell, and then also the other thing I think the biggest for me was the language. The whole thing that to be Muslim or to to be part of Islam, you have to speak Arabic, or not speak but pray in Arabic. And that just for me, I could not, I'm just like a God who doesn't understand my native language, which is I speak Somali and I speak a little bit Swahili, but I forgot mostly because I lived in Kenya. Because if you're not using
Awesome.
language, yeah, if you're not using language, you lose it.
Yeah.
But for me, the biggest was, why do I have to pray in Arabic? Why doesn't God, this Allah, he doesn't understand my language? I don't need a God that doesn't understand my language, or who doesn't understand who. If you created me and you created my language, you should understand me. You should understand people. So the
Yeah.
concept that you have to speak Arabic, and I was just against. I love linguistic. I think all languages are beautiful. But for me, I was forced to pray in Arabic, a language that I did not understand. I was just praying it. And that was, I think, the big thing for me. And then
Yeah.
the other thing is like when I read the hadith and just finding out how Islam ridiculous and so cruel to other people who don't follow, or if you don't agree with it, I just could not rationalize. So I pretend to almost like a year, like pretending like, I was believing it. But then finally, I told myself, you know what, I don't believe this. And I'm going to say myself, I'm not a Muslim anymore. And I did it. It was 2019. It took some time.
You mean to
And
yourself,
to
admitting to
myself,
yourself.
yes, to
Uh-huh.
myself and my friends. And some of my friends couldn't believe me. And they were like, and then some of my friends believed me because one of my good friend knew that when like she was like one time like, I'll give you 10 years and you're not going to be wearing hijab and you're not going to be following this, like this misogyny, whatever. And then I said, well, it's not going to happen. Seriously, after 2 years, it happened. It was so fun. She gave me 10 years, but it was 2 years. So it was funny. I mean, my friend still. And then first, of course, when I told her, she said, I don't believe you. You have to come. So I had to go her house. And then the first time I tried alcohol, that was like, she was like, we need to celebrate. So it was so funny.
And you
Yeah.
just mentioned about the hijab as
Yeah.
being a very integral
Yep.
part of your identity.
Yep.
Um, Recently, just as we're making this recording, it's the 1st of February was World Hijab Day, and we had this campaign also called No Hijab Day.
Yep.
And you did participate in your first No Hijab Day.
Yes, and I've I think before like 2019 is when I became, I finally removed my hijab, and that was February actually, honestly. But I didn't know what no hijab day. I knew World Hijab Day, and I mean I was still wearing the hijab, but I was in the closet, kind of pretending. That was kind of like for me the year I was gonna leave and just tell myself, you know what, I don't believe it. I was kind of living two lives. So the my previous work I worked with, some Muslims, and so I was wearing it, but then I didn't believe it. I was kind of the process of leaving and just like, I don't believe it. So the weekend I was kind of wearing, like showing my hair a little bit and not wearing completely covering the thing. But
Yeah, it's a
20,
process, isn't it, to
it's
shed
it's
it
a
off?
huge process. So to participate this 2021 No Hijab Day, World Hijab Day, it was just incredible, and I'm so glad I was part of it. Of course, it's scary. I was nervous putting yourself out there, your face. There are weird people in this world, and for me, the thing I don't understand is why do you have to protect your ideology? Your ideology, if it's a truth from literally whatever your creator, it should protect itself. And so
Uh-huh.
for me, I put it there
Yeah,
because
that's
even
something.
though it's scary, but we can't live in fear. I mean, I've been, and everybody and yourself too, we've been in hell where we came from. So for me, I have to be part of it because I'm compelled. I have to, because nobody else is going to speak out. If I don't, and people like you, if we don't speak out, then who's going to? So I was part of it, and I'm so glad. I was nervous, but I made it, and I got some good feedback. And I mean, you're going to get bad and good feedback, but you know who you are. Who cares? Like, whatever. I'm doing this because I care.
So in that regard, is
Yeah.
it correct then to say that you don't see the hijab as a choice? You see it as a different thing.
So this kind of choice, I don't really, if people wants to believe a religion, I don't really care. But the choice, religion, all ideology, all religion should be free, with criticism and critiques. You should be able to critique ideology. People have a right, ideology do not have a right. So for me, when they say hijab is free, this is how I look at it. How is it free? If let's say I removed it, I'm gonna go hell. I mean, in the Quran it says so. If you remove, you're gonna be hang on your hijab, and internally you're gonna be roasted in hell. So how is it? There's no choice. You
Yeah,
remove it. There's a
it's a
consequence.
red herring. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a consequences in hell, and as well as you exclude it in the community. I mean, when I removed it, it wasn't easy. I remember when I removed it, I got, backlashes. I mean, I was looked down. You are, excluded. You are literally sometimes pulled aside. People talk to you, like some sisters, whatever. It's like, oh, we don't want you to go hell. It's not a choice, because if it's a choice, why is it hard when I remove it? Why do I get all that abuse?
Exactly. You
Yeah.
summed it up.
So
You
yeah,
summed it up. And I completely agree with you.
yeah,
It's not a choice. It is
yeah,
coercion. And one of the points I was also trying to make in
mhm,
in the
yeah,
campaign myself
mm,
was, if you think hijab is a choice, just to make these two comparisons: the woman who wears it
yep,
and the woman who has removed it. And the woman who wears it is praised and told she's pious and a good girl, and the woman who removes it is called slut and whore, and so when you get that, when you put those two together, then you do see that it's not a choice, it's coercion. And there's a lot of people who actually violence is used on them to force them to wear the hijab. There are countries that women are jailed for removing the hijab. So hijab is not a choice.
yeah, it's
Absolutely.
not. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And
um,
if it's a choice, I challenge those women who say, and it's fine if it's a choice for them. There's a lot of people it's not choice for them. There's a lot of women and little children that are forced to wear it and they don't want to wear it. So if it's they are saying choice, especially the Western women call themselves feminists. It's just like my head literally. hurts when I hear people like, okay, Islam gives me a whatever, a choice. But if that it gives you, then fine. But I have a right to remove it. And there are other women and little children are being forced, have no choice, and even being killed if they remove it.
Yeah.
So I think this idea, I mean, and especially in the West, it breaks my heart when I see people celebrating. You know.
And that's why I now want to
Mhm.
talk because and I apologize for this because
No, that's okay.
at the beginning I didn't ask you. Tell us who you are.
Oh yeah,
Who
so
just you? I mean,
my
I know you live in
background,
the West, but
my
basically
nationality, or my
just give
ethnicity.
us a bit of a bio.
So for me, I'm a kind of a troublemaker, or what do they call it? Like, usually I call myself the elephant in the room. I know, right? But my story, I think we all have a story, and I am, I grew up in Kenya. I actually grew up in a camp, one of the camp in Kenya. And of course, I was born in Somalia. During the civil war, we flee from Somalia in 1992, 1991, and I don't remember anything. I was a baby. I don't really remember. We came to Kenya in the camp, and I stayed in the camp for a while. And I saw life. I saw like how women is treated, how children are treated. So I also, in the force of, you have to learn the Quran, you have to learn in Arabic, which you don't understand a language. And the other thing is like most people are illiterate. Most people, especially Somali people, are very, I mean, they are more orally speaking, like the language. I mean, our Somali language,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
even, the written even is it's like, when it was created or founded, whatever. So people speak the language, but they can't read or write, and you memorize in this language. So I remember in the camp, I used to memorize the Quran. We used to go to Duxi. Even in the camp, I questioned things. The way women was treated, women were, you either, school was not an option. If there was I mean, if there was an opportunity for girls or boys for schools, boys get it first, and in the camp, people, when you don't have a meal, I grew up in a place where you have to live, either you didn't eat 3 meals a day. Life was hard, it wasn't easy, but people made it. Women were treated horrible, and they were treated second class. The beating was okay, and I mean, I remember I used to babysit, used to take care of kids for the neighbors. And I remember one of my neighbor, her husband used to beat her. And I asked my aunt, and I said, why does she do this? And she said, well, the Quran can allow it. And I'm just like, why? Then can she do it? And then, of course, I got in trouble. I was beaten, I got a whipped, of course. You don't talk,
Yeah.
in the Somali community, you don't talk back to adult. So for me, I did not want to live that life. When I saw little girls, like, the way, of course, on top of that, the FGM, female genital mutation, that is a horrible practice that we all went through. Most
Yeah.
than 99% Somali girls have gone through.
Actually,
And
today that we're recording this is, the international no
yep,
zero tolerance for FGM. Although what I normally see from the campaigns of it's mostly just about awareness and pamphlets.
absolutely.
I personally like to see more protection of children and more prosecution of parents. Um, and that's something that's a hill I will die on,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, absolutely. And it has to be you're right, it has to be a consequences. These people is like they normalize, and even in the West the kids are not protected. And
Yeah,
for me, even you grew up Kenya, I grew up in Kenya. We went through this awful practice because everybody was doing it. It was normalized.
yeah,
Everybody around us, even though we were scared as a hell as a little children, will never forget that horrible practice. It's gonna live with us, unfortunately, forever.
yeah.
But everybody was going through, and the bully goes in the community. If you don't go through the bully, like the way you are, najas, or what do you call, like, if you don't have, if you're not circumcised, or
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
you didn't go through,
Like,
the bully,
yeah,
you know
kinderly.
yeah, consider like all that awful
Yeah,
thing. So you have
yeah,
to, even though you're scared, you're terrified, you're gonna
yeah.
go through this awful thing. And then of course, when you go through it and you're going through without procedure, no procedure, it's like meaning like there's no numbing, no medical things, like these people who are doing it just like old lady, with the
Yeah,
equipment,
I mean,
it's awful.
it's an
Yeah.
awful, horrible, barbaric
Yes. Yes.
scene. But I'm hoping that I'm going to bring you
Absolutely.
again. I really want to bring you like on this subject
Absolutely. We can
later.
talk about, yeah.
This video is you coming out,
Hmm.
and just tell us who you are, because
Yeah.
earlier in 2019, I remember I posted something on my social media about you, and I said when she's ready, she's gonna come out on this channel, and here you are today. And I believe you're writing a book.
Yes. We have been talking, and 2019, yes, when I came out, and for me, I was illiterate. I never been to school, so when even in Kenya, I never been to school because I just didn't have the opportunity. I was working for people. I was a maid. I was a, nanny, babysitting, whatever, trying to survive or trying to support myself. So there's no option at school when you don't have those, the stuff, the necessary. First, you gotta have a house, a meal, and things that is, so for me, when I came to United States, my goal always, and as a little girl, even in the camp, I remember I was like, I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to get married. I don't want to have a children. I had a dream, literally. I had a dream like probably 5 or 6 years old, thinking that I don't want to live this life. This is not what I want to do. I am going to go somewhere, and I have no idea what it's going to be. I don't even know what the geography of the world, no idea, even Somalia or Kenya, to find the geography. So I said, I will go somewhere, and whatever that place it would be, I'm going to become a literate. I'm going to become an educator, and I'm going to do something, especially something with humanity. And today here I am. I became those are things. My goals are a gift, and here I
From
am
zero to
doing, yeah,
100,
a
right?
hundred. Like I came here with nothing, and
Yeah.
and yes, I am writing my book, and I think in my book the theme is anything is possible as long as you really work hard, especially in the West. We are blessed. We are, literally fortunate. We are lucky to be living in the West. Yes, I'm not saying everything is perfect. We have issue. Things are hard. It's not easy. But in the West, we are the luckiest and really privileged human being. It doesn't matter your skin color. We all privileged to be living in the West because you have education, access. You have access to a lot of things that in the third world we don't have it. So for me, when I came here, was like education. Even though in the community I came from, no, you got to get married, you got to get married, you're going to get too old, and who's going to marry? It's like, no, fuck that, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I knew as a little girl I had my dream was to go to school to become a literate. I wasn't even able to write my own name, Halima.
When
So
you
for
were
my
arriving, you mean as
when I arrived,
refugee?
yeah, in the camp, or even in the, like, let's say, I'm sorry, when I
Okay.
arrived at the airport in United States, they told me to write my name, and I was like, okay, how will you write my name? They're like, I can literally take a picture how I wrote it. I didn't know I didn't know how to spell my name. And so the thing is, what I'm saying in my book is, as long as you work hard. I came here zero background, no formal education, in America, not speaking no English, not a word even introducing myself or writing my name or even saying hi. Didn't know how to spell hi even, or how to introduce myself. So
Yeah.
my book, the theme is anything is possible, especially in America. I don't know. I mean, in the other Western European country too, but America is a place that you can come zero and you can make something yourself. Yes, I'm not saying things are easy like a piece of cake. No, you have to work hard. You have to work hard. You're gonna fall. You're gonna have to pick up yourself. You're gonna hear those noise people. You're gonna have some people is gonna doubt you. Or I was told I was too old. I was demean. to go to school and I should quit. But no, I did not quit. I knew what I wanted. I knew who I was, and I got it after it. And here I am today. I graduated with my BA, and I am writing my book to let the rest of the world, whoever is listening, anything is possible as long as you work hard. So,
Wow, this is so phenomenal. I'm so
so
proud of you.
thank you, hon.
In that post of the social media that I posted,
Yeah.
I did mention something that you had told me in private, and you gave me the blessing that I could post it
Hmm.
publicly. Which was you went to, I mean, as soon as you started following Muslim movement, people in the ex-Muslim movement's work, you did
Hmm.
go to a conference where you met your hero.
Oh yes. When I met Ayan Hersi Ali, that was in the community. Ayan is literally, you mention her name, everybody gets like riled up. Like everybody gets somehow, and they have no idea her story. So when I was here, I was reading her book. When I became, of course, I was first. I have to learn how to read or write, and then I
Yeah,
read her book, and I was aware of Ayan, and I loved her. Everything she said, I listened her videos, and I was following or the AHA Foundation. You know, she has the Human Rights
yeah,
Foundation,
yeah,
and so when I became ex-Muslim, and you know, when you leave Islam, it's just like you are deceived. I felt I was cheated. I was deceived. I was told when I found out everything. I felt like all my life wasted. I wish I, you know, you have all those things, but you
yeah,
can't,
yeah, yeah.
and you
It is
can't undo the
there's the
past, you know?
face. Yeah, there's that face. Yeah, there's
Absolutely.
that
So I
face
had that
where you're
face.
like, why do they lie
Absolutely.
to me?
Why did they do that to me? But then you
Yeah,
can't just say why and crawl, you know, in a closet, and that's not gonna work. You gotta pick up yourself. Yes, you gotta
yeah,
pick up yourself. You have to. So for me, 2019, when I, you know, left the thing and becoming and connecting with, you know, people, and I was still talking to you, I was also getting involved. I wrote to Ayan an email, and then I also, I think it was Twitter or Facebook. I saw a post saying like she's gonna speak out at the university at different state, and I was like, this is a great opportunity. You know, this is like things that I can build confidence. I can become who I am. To meet Ayan is like, you know, like seriously, she's like my hero. I love her. So I
so
just like
you were
I am gonna go for
sick.
it. So I'm like, I'm gonna go for it. And then my friend was like, girl, this is like too short. Are you really gonna do it? It's like, yep, I'm gonna do it. And then the good thing is, I think I don't know if I was working or if I think I was off work
Yeah,
like a month or something. I took off because of just something. I had things going on. When, you know, like the whatever the face you talked about, you know, like when you leave a cult or something that you believe in, and you have stress, and you're gonna go like
yeah. The
step
emotional.
roller
Some
coaster.
people go into depression actually
Yep.
right immediately after
Yep,
leaving.
yep. I have gotten depression because we
Yeah,
all do. Yes, we
yeah,
all do. So anyway, I was on break, and but still working on call jobs. So I took the opportunity. It was 2 days, 3 days. I went to see. I was nervous as a hell. I was like, Sarah, this is crazy. What are you doing? Just jumped on it. I was like, okay, you know what? This is the one opportunity. Whatever, you know, if I don't do this, when am I gonna meet her? I
yeah.
went there. I got on the airplane. You know, I did it. And I have a fear. I don't like flying, but you know, you get have to get used to it. So I went there, and I was, you know, just met.
But you took the flight purposely for to go to that
Yep,
conference to.
just the conference. And then my friends like, only 3 days. It's like, are you crazy? This is expensive. It's like, no, it's okay. I'm gonna make money. I'll do it. Yes, I literally have to. It was, I only had 2 days to decide because I found out short. I don't know. I was new to the social media. I wasn't on Facebook on as often. So I found out very short. And I think I let you know. I said, you were like, go for it, girl. If you think you
Yeah,
can
I
afford it,
remember.
go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I also remember how excited you were about it
Yeah.
when you actually went and you met her, and you
Yeah.
did share that photo with me
Yes. Yes.
privately,
So
which
I
now
met.
we
Yes.
can show our audience. Can we not?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Cool.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. We'll show the photo. And I think when I met her first, I was so nervous because this woman is like very intelligent, like she's very, very educated, very just amazing, beautiful. And I never, sometimes when you see people on the camera, it's different than when you see live. She is, in my opinion, she's most gentle, kind, humble person. Serious, so kind. Like, and then when I met her, and then she's holding my hand, it's like, and then it gave me a hug, and then we took a picture, and I told about myself, and I said, I'm writing my book, and I left Islam just, recently, kind of couple months, and I said, I love you, and I agree everything you say about the community and things that need to be, talk about it. And FGM, I said thank you so much, and I gave, just, it was just like, I mean, the experience, I can't really describe it. It's indescribable. It was beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah. Sorry, I went
Awesome.
the long way, but that was, yeah. It's, I don't know, it still feels dream. I mean, it feels dream still, Halima. I don't know if
Yeah.
I met her or not, but it was beautiful.
Well, I'm very public and I've been doing a lot of stuff and
Yeah,
and I haven't even met her. So
you will.
I'm super jealous.
Yeah, we'll meet her someday.
Yeah, it's what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, she did. She was asked a question in one of the in that same conference, and she does actually mention you in the video, right?
She has, and I was like, holy shit! I was like, oh my gosh! I'm like, I'm just kidding. Like literally, yeah, she mentioned my name. She was like, we were talking about the question, like, question, like after she gave the talk, people were like, asking question, and I asked question, but she, there's a lot of questions, so I don't think she got the chance to read mine.
Yeah.
But so she was saying there is a young woman in here in this audience, and with us, that who is also speaking, is going to speak out, and who's sharing her story. And I think the point she was making is we need to support these people. It's true for me.
Yeah.
Even in the West, like the mainstream media, like stories like mine, if I want to write a story today, and this kind of a victimhood, mentality, you have to either agree with some of their narrative in order for your story to put out there for you, which I don't want to, because
I
I want
would
to write my
love.
story. I want
Yeah.
to write my story the way I want to. There are many people who are in a closet, seriously. And even like, a lot of people in the United States who can't express what they feel because they are afraid of the backlashes, and like even fear, the risk of your life, the consequences comes with speaking out.
Yeah,
So
and that's where my final question is
yeah,
gonna go.
yeah, yeah.
The fact that you're coming out right now, and this video is gonna go up. Um, I just want to know how this is going to make you in a couple of days. Like, for example, it was a big deal. You'd been preparing for a whole year to
Absolutely.
come out. So, how do you feel now that you're doing this?
I think it just is off on my chest. I'm not like, in the, and we should not hide who we are. Why do I have to hide? Especially living in America, this country, a free world that we live. I should not hide who I am. And I'm just so relieved that I'm just like, I don't believe Islam. I just want to just leave me alone. We should, talk about things that in the community, the taboos and the stigmas, whatever is going on. And I don't believe, and I have a right to express as the right, you have a right to express whatever you want to believe in. So for me, it's a relief. It's a big relief. I have no regret, but it's also scary. It's not like easy. Yes, there is gonna be a backlash. There's gonna be even people who wants to hurt me, because even I do have someone in the community. They're not around anymore, but they have told me they can kill me because their book tells them. So
God.
it's scary. However, but we can't be scared. We can't scare, because if we are scared and fear and stay silent, then things are not going to improve. Things are not going to change. So for me, I am relieved that I don't have to pretend and go with the group thinking that I don't believe Islam. And I think people have a right. If you want to believe it, fine, but don't force me. And I have a right to critique as well. I have a right, and also in the community. And I this is message is it's for the Somali community. The Somali community, not everybody, but we are so bullied. Literally, we bully each other. There's so much toxic. The toxic is just like, you, even if you thinking, there are people who are thinking. I met even a Muslim, girls who are thinking different, but then the minute you express that, then you are not Somali. And there is this kind of a special card. I call it a Somali card. Like, it's not a credit card, but it's a Somali card, literally.
Yeah,
So
the
the
Somali
Somali card,
Mimo.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
we
Somali
get this
card.
a lot on
Yeah,
our
so the
channel.
absolutely. So the
Yeah.
Somali card, in order to fit for you, you have to be Muslim, you have to be good Somali, meaning, like, even if there is something going on, you don't say it. You don't tell them, the infidel, the Galo. I am proud to be Galo today. I'm proud to be in Galo. And I don't fucking I don't give anybody, it's my life. Let me be Galo. Let me roast it in hell. That hell you describing, you guys, I chose that hell, and I'm not scared of it. I am a human first before religion or anything. I'm a human being, and then I don't care people whatever they believe, but let's just be humble and kind, and just for me, it's like, yeah, it's like that.
I think the wiser words could not have been said. So I'm gonna actually end it on
Yeah,
that note because it's such a
thank
punchy
you,
line. And goodbye, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I will
thank you.
bring Sahara again on another program, definitely on another episode. Sarah, thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this with me. And now I'm gonna stop the recording.